Hello, welcome back. It's another puzzle time again with Sudoku Sleuth. And I did mention that the next recording will be on vacation from some exotic location. So the background that you see behind me is actually Dover, as we are setting off to France on the ferry. At some point, I'll introduce you to our dogs here, and you can see why we decided to take the ferry so we can take them with us on vacation as well. So none of the usual professionalism today. Hopefully the audio is more than sufficient. And actually, sorry, bear with me. Excuse the brief interruption. That was just essentially me checking the alarm on the car. I think these sort of things happens when you're on the ferry. Well, so aside from the lack of good audio, hopefully you can still hear me loud and clear. We're going to jump straight into the puzzle. Nothing to do with an introduction like we normally do. And we have The Knights Who Whisper, V by GDC. And I think we've featured GDC before on the channel, so this is not the first time that we're playing one of the puzzles from this constructor. I'm not sure I can see really the shape of the knights, but I can essentially think you've got essentially German whispers lines. You've got the letter V all over, obviously. And the knights, yeah, looking at the rule set is entirely to do with the fact that there's an anti-knight rule in place. So let's take a look at the full rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules applied. That means the digits 1 through to 9, every row, every column, as well as every box. We have cells separated by a knight's move cannot repeat. So, for example, if this is 2, then clearly this cannot be a 2 and this cannot be a 2. So think of chess knight's move where essentially you can do either, one move and then 2 down, equally just as well 2 moves and then 1 down. That would also be an issue, despite the fact that it's in a different box, different row, and different column. Next, we also have on lines adjacent, digits differ by 5 or more. So this is standard German whispers rules. We've seen these before, where essentially if this is a 2, this has to be 5 or more. So that would be 7, 8, or 9. And you end up with this behavior where you're oscillating between kind of a low digit polarity and a high digit polarity. And we're going to need to figure which one it is in a moment, I suspect. And then lastly, we have cells joined by a V sum up to 5. And we've only got 2 of them down here in box 9. So, not a lot of rules and a very empty looking grid. But as frequent viewers of this channel know, we are often solving on this channel Sudoku variant puzzles. That means it's Sudoku rules with a few twists. We've got 3 additional ones here with anti-knight, German whispers, and V. And somehow, with these 3 additional constraints, we're going to be able to solve a grid with 0 digits in it already. At least that's what GDC thinks. Let's see if we can do it. As usual, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how we get on. So with German whispers, what I often do is essentially try and figure out fairly quickly which digits are high and which digits are low. Now, we don't know that yet, but what we can do is say all of these, remember, they switch polarity every other cell. So if that's orange, that's purple, as is this, as is this, as is this, and in between them, you essentially will have an orange cell all the time. Now, if you take a look immediately in column 8, you can see that the purple cells, there's 3 of them, but we also have 2 low digits. So it's clearly, purple is clearly going to be red, otherwise you'll end up with 5 blues in the same column, which is not going to work. You can only have 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4. For orange, this is blue. And let's see if we can figure out this one as well. So I'm going to use orange here, purple here, and let's see if we can figure out the polarity of this German whisper line. So it's not as obvious as it was with column 8 and this set of German whisper lines. But if you look at row 7, we've got, once again, 3 purples. Now, if these were red, that would imply we need 4 blues elsewhere in this grid. So that's 1 orange, 2, 3. We still need to put 1 more in box 9, and we can't because we've used all 4. Therefore, purple here is blue, orange here is red. Still no digits in the grid after 2 minutes, but I think we've made some progress here in actually figuring out what the polarity is of all of the cells we've been given. Let's see if we can figure out what these digits are. So, first thing to remember about German whispers is the digits 4 and 6, as well as 5. Obviously, you can't put a 5 in a German whispers because if I put 5 in here, 5 away would either be a 0, not possible, or a 10, also not possible. So if we focus on blues for a second, and what I'm noticing is these have to be from 1, 2, or 3. In essence, if we put a 4 in here, to be 5 away, this would be a 9, this would be a second 9. 2 9s in the box, that's going to be a problem. Same with this cell, you can see 2 reds, they see each other. And surprisingly, even with this cell, because you can see 2 reds that see each other. That's beautiful. Question to ask yourself now is, what is that digit? I'm going to pause here a second to see if you've spotted it. Right? If you haven't, so he sees this digit in the column. However, remember we also have anti-Knight's move. It sees this digit and this digit with a Knight's move away. So this one has to be different from these 3, which is 1, 2, and 3, but it's also blue. So that's 4, that's 9, and we have our first digit in the grid at 3.5 minutes in. Now to think through this next, I'm wondering if there's a similar trick with the high cells. Yes, there is. You can see the 9 sees these 2, as well as this with Knight's move. So this is 6, 7, 8. Neither of these could be 6 because it would require a double 1 in the box. If it's, this one, for example. So that's the 6. That's the 1. And I'm assuming, yeah, given they all have to be different, this has to be the 2, this has to be the 7, this has to be the 8, and this has to be the 3. No other way would work and fill in German whispers rules. Now, looking down column 7, you can see these 1, 4 see this. Therefore, this is a 2, 3 pattern. In fact, we know the order because of this 2. That's 2, that's 3. These are from 1, 4. And just pardon me for the silence that I immediately jumped over to this other German whispers, which I think has a very similar set of constraints. So you can see this blue, you can actually see all 3, again because of Knight's move, and therefore all 3 digits actually once again have to be different. Now, I don't think this can be a 4, because that would require 2, 9 in the column. This can't be a 4, this would require 2, 9 in the row. This can't be a 4, it would require 2, 9 in the box. So that's the 4, that's the 9. These are from 1, 2, 3. And if we take a look at the 9, yes, with Knight's move and normal Sudoku, you can see all of these. So this is 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to say same logic applies as up here. This cannot be 6, 2 1s. This cannot be 6, this is 2 1s. This is the 6. And we can complete it in a very similar fashion to up there. Now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking there's just not enough digits for us to complete this. I mean, it's extraordinary that this is all the digits we need to complete, but that's, I think, the power of Knight's move in particular. So here's an example. We know that 3s, because of this 3 and this 3, have to be in here. But actually, it can't be in this cell because that's a nice move away. So that's the 3 in box 8. are down here. Joined with 4s. There's no negative constraint, so no issues with them being adjacent here. But you can see with these 4s, eliminates that. This 4 eliminates that. I think I made a mistake actually. This can be a 4 as well. So maybe that wasn't the right pencil marks here. That's 1. That's 4. Unfortunately, that's also possibly a 4. In fact, no. We don't know where the 4s are in this box yet. We do, however, know where the 2 is. You can see this 2 sees all of these cells except for this one. So that's the 2. We need to place 2 and 1 in this box. 2 is not in here. So one of these 2 cells. 3 is in one of these 2 cells. 1. Now, strangely, 1 is also not in these 2. Because if you think about it, there's a 1 for sure in here. Whichever one it is, you can see both of these cells, either through normal Sudoku or nice mode. So 1 is actually restricted to up here, but I don't think this is the way to solve this puzzle. It just feels like a distraction. Yeah, so 4 is up here. We actually now know where the 4 and 1 is. That's helpful. So that's 1, that's 4. These are not 1, therefore this is the 1. I'm going to actually just fully pencil mark this one. So this is 4, 5. 5 is also in here, longer than 9. 9 can see this cell, but not this. Let's see if we can make some progress from here. Yeah, this 4 is not here, nor here. So we are eliminating the 4 from this row, and this is the 4. Row 7, you can see we actually have every digit except 5 in this cell. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, not 5. And to complete this, we need a 6 in here. Therefore, a 6 in there. We need 7, 8, and 9. 9 can only be in here. That's a 5, 4, 9. I'm actually going to disable conflict checks. Pencil marks, if I can find that. There we go. That's not 5, that's not 5. I'm just taking a look at these 2 5s. Nice move means these 2 cells are not. This is the 5, that's the 2. We now need to place 7 and 8 in column 9, both of which are valid. We need to put 3, 7, and 8 in here. And we need to put 7 and 8 in there. And that's no, that's not 5. That's a 9. Right, down here we need a 4, 5, and 8. I'm just going to fill them in. Nice move means this is not an 8. That's not 4. This is this 3. If you take a look at these 2 cells, they both see this cell. So 7 and 8 can't be in here. That's a 3. That's the remaining 7 or 8. It's actually 7 because of this 8 here. So 7, 8, 7, 8, 5, 4, 8. 6 and 9 in here. That's the 6, 9, sorry, 6 and 5. Yeah, both are valid. And over here we need 1, looks like 7 and 9. That's not 9. That's not 7. That's not 1. So that's 7. And so 1 9 pair, 5 6 pair. At least there's nothing looking at either of them that I can spot yet. Let's just see if we can do this row. So we need a 4. It's not in here. It's not in there either because of this 4. 4. Need 1, 2, 7, and 8. 2 is not there or there. 2 is fixed. 1 is not here. Still needs 7 and 8. 7 is not here, not here. It can be here, and it can be there. And 8 is not here either, so that's the 1. That's not the 1. And it looks like 8 is valid for both locations from the looks of things. I can't see any nice move or Sudoku rules that are looking at it. I'll keep going a couple more rows and I'll take a look at columns in a second. So we still need a 3. These are not 3. That's not 3. 3 is in here. A 6 is in none of these. 6 is valid, unfortunately, in both of these. And 5, not in there. It seems, unfortunately, like all of these are valid. 5, 6, we need 8 and 9. 9 is not there, there. It can only be here because we've already got a 9 as well in this box. And we need an 8. 8 seems to be running wild, really. Seems to be possible almost anywhere. Right. So that's the 3. Let's take a look at this column for a second, and column 3. We need 2, 3, 5, 6. Not 5, not 6. Not sure it's premature to be looking at. Yeah, it's not eliminating many options. I think we probably need to complete box 5 before we can look higher. Right, so we have 5, 7, and 8 in here, which means 6 has to be in this row with a 2, joined by one of 5 or 7. So I'm just going to cancel that in 2, 5, 6, 7. That's not 5 or 6. That's not 2 or 5. Right, this 7 tells us 2 is in here. That's not 2. I said 6 has to be up here, along with one of 5 or 7. That's not 7. So we have 5 and 6, 6, 7, 5, 8, 7, 8. Still a plethora of options in here. So we need 1 and 3 and one of the remaining plethora of options we still have. So 1 and 3, not 3. 6, not 8, but also 5 and 7 are valid options. I guess whichever 5 or 7 makes it in here doesn't make it in there, and vice versa. This is quite a few pencil marks. I was hoping there'll be a bit more resolution by the time we get this far. As maybe we should probably be looking at these two, where box 3 here with its nice move can actually eliminate quite a So we need up here 5, 7, 8, or 9. Not 7 or 9. Not 8. 5, 8 pair. You can see here. So neither of these are 5. This is not 8. This is now a 7, 9 pair, which has this 9 looking onto it. So we actually know that this is the 7, 9. Sadly, neither of them are actually looking at anything with a nice move, as far as I could tell. Let's take a look at it here. So we need 1, 4, and 1 of 6 or 8. That's not 6, that's not 8. In fact, neither is this an 8. That's not 4, so this is the 1. Neither of these is a 1. I need a 4 in one of them. Wow. So we're probably going to have to be looking out for a nice move of some sort that would help us unwind a lot of this puzzle. It's going to require some very sharp eyes to be able to spot what's missing. I mean, some normal Sudokus can be, is certainly clearing the deck a bit, but still a lot of options. So you can see we need 1, 2. Maybe definitely need a 1 here. This is from 1, 3, 5, and 7. We know that neither of these are 1. This is not 5 or 7. Or 3, this is the 1. In fact, I think that tells us where the 1 is. Yeah. Bit of movement finally. We have 3, 5, and 7. Not 7. Not 7 either. Yeah, there is no 7 in this column of moving error. What was the other thing I was missing? This is 6. May actually have to backtrack a bit, unfortunately. So none of these are 7. Let's add 6 as an option. Work again through that. So not 5 or 3. Neither of these are 1. We said one of these has to be a 6, because there isn't a 6. Yeah, let's put in the box. That's not a 6. That's not a 6 either. That's a 3, 5 pair. I'm left with 7, 8 pair. Neither of these as a result can be 7. 7, 8, 5, 6, 2. No 6 here either. 3, 5. That's an 8. Not 8. 4, 6, 3, and 5. Nothing disambiguating them just yet. This 6 here sees this with nice. Oh, that's 4. That's 6. Not 5. here 6 and 8 double tabs, which means this is the 7. That's an 8, that's a 7. Therefore, that's 6, 8, 5, 6. Not 5, so that's 1, 3, that is the 5. C is this 3, 5 pair, that's 3, that's 5, that's 3. No, that's not 3, we're left with 5 or 6. It feels like there has to be a 5. Yes, that's the 1, 6, 5, not 1, 3, 1, 9, 1, 9, 2, I've not made any other mistakes, 4, complete the puzzle. I think it's, a bit of a stressful puzzle, probably because of the environment I'm in, but otherwise, really enjoyable for GDC. Very lovely start here when you're having to figure out the polarity of these German whispers lines. But aside from that, the rest of it is just, hard work on anti-nice move to try and spot what you need to do to basically work through it. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's see what new scenic location I'll be recording from tomorrow. And hope you enjoyed the puzzle. See you back for the next video.